Rambam. We are in the book of Nezikim, the book of damages that we do to people's property or things of ours that do. Today, we're going to learn about bore, about a cistern or something that is damaging because you can trip over, fall into, that you have dug. So when a person digs a cistern, right, you dug some kind of pit in the public domain, right? And an ox or a donkey falls into it and dies. The owner of the cistern is liable and is required to pay the full amount of damages. Full amount of damages. As the verse says, the owner of the cistern must pay. This applies even if the cistern was filled with wads of wool or the like. In other words, to make the fall an easier fall, right? Doesn't matter. I mean, not necessarily that's why the person was motivated by, but that's not relevant. Just stating the facts. So the intent is not only an ox and a donkey, but any animal, beast or fowl. An ox and a donkey I mention only because they are more commonplace examples, right? It's just sometimes when the Torah gives an example of something in the verse, it's giving it only as an example because it's more commonplace. Sometimes it's because specifically it's speaking about that. And our sages, understand how we apply that principle. Halacha number 2, the above applies regardless of whether the person digs a cistern in the public domain. He digs it in his own property, but it is open to the public domain or to the domain belonging to a colleague. Or he digs it in his own property with an opening he digs it in his own property with the opening to his own property, but afterwards he declares the property, not the cistern, ownerless, right? He declares it ownerless. Again, why is he relevant? I'm just saying this is the facts, right? In all these instances, the person who digs the cistern is liable for the damage suffered. Because you would say, well, it doesn't belong to him because he made hefker, he made ownerless the property, so it's not his. Well, no, you're still responsible. The Torah made it as if you still own it. It's in your private domain. Yeah, but if there's public access to your private domain, right? On your own it's your own property. You dug the pit, right? You dug a pit in your own property, but there's public access, or you have a partner, right? Sorry. No, okay. Yeah. Or again, you made it. All of those instances, you're responsible. If, however, he declared his domain and the cistern ownerless. Okay, here on the previous one, he didn't make the cistern ownerless, the pit that he made, he still owned that, but the property around it, he declared. Again, sounds kind of odd thing to do. Again, we're giving the parameters of the law here, right? But if he did declare everything ownerless, the property and the diggings, the cistern, while retaining possession of his domain, or he declared the cistern ownerless while taking possession of his domain, or he consecrated it, he's not liable. So in those instances, he's not liable. We derive from the phrase, the owner of the cistern will pay, implying the cistern must have an owner, while the cistern is ownerless. So the property might be ownerless, but the cistern, if it's not ownerless, then that's when you wouldn't have to pay. Moreover, it cannot be compared to a cistern dug in a public domain, since at the outset, he was permitted to dig the cistern because it was on his property. Hmm? Not be compared to cistern dug in. Right. That's on his property. Okay, halacha number 3. The above applies whether the person dug the cistern himself, it came into being on his property through natural means, or it was dug by an animal or a beast. Since he is required to fill it up or cover it, and he did not, he's liable for the damages, right? So you didn't have to do it yourself, but there's a pit in your property. You're responsible. Finished. Similarly, the above applies when a person digs a cistern himself or purchases or receives as a present a domain with a cistern. So you got it this way. Someone gifted you a piece of land and there was a big pit there. So you're responsible. This is derived from the phrase the owner of the cistern will pay, implied as the cistern has an owner, he is liable. Right? That's the important thing over here. Just as the person who digs a cistern is liable, so too is the one who opens a cistern that was covered. So let's say you own on your property a cistern and you covered it, but someone else came and uncovered it. They're also responsible because the verse says if a person opens a cistern or if a person digs a cistern. So it's both. So if an owner covered a cistern in an appropriate manner and the cover had decayed from within, and because of this, the ox fell into the cistern and died, the owner is not liable. For the above verse continues, and he did not cover it. So he covered it. For the above verse continues, he did not cover it, and in this case, he covered it. The following laws apply if the owner covered the cistern with a covering that was strong enough for the oxen to tread on, but was not strong enough for camels to tread on it. Right? Camels heavier. Camels trod on it and became weakened, and then oxen trod on it and fell. The camels are not usually found in such a place. The owner is not liable. Aha. Because here it's about the owner being responsible. So if camels tread on it, and because of that, it became weakened. And then afterwards, okay. So he wasn't irresponsible because it's not a usual thing, right? The owner is not liable for this is considered a factor beyond his control. If camels pass through this place, even infrequently, he is liable. But if camels do pass, right? Have cows that pass, through people's property is one thing. But if camels do in this instance, right? 1 second. שלום עליכם, אני באמצע שיעור, אני אטפל בעוד מעט. Okay, shalom. When it speaks about it decayed, okay, so if the cover decayed from within and the oxen fell into the cistern, the owner is not liable, right? Because this applies even when the camels frequent the area and the owner is considered negligent with regard to camels. Nevertheless, since oxen fell into the cistern because the cover decayed, it's considered a loss beyond the owner's control. The same applies in similar situations. So, remember, it decayed from within, meaning, so he didn't see it, right? It's underneath that if it was wood, right, that he put there, he didn't see it was decayed, because if you see that it's decayed, so then you're responsible. But he took precautionary measures, but Um, he didn't see that, so then therefore he's not liable. Remember, I think this is only speaking on speaking on your property. Is it also public property? I guess also. When a person discusses a cistern, covers it, and afterwards uncovers it, the owner of the cistern is liable, and the person who covered and uncovered it is not liable. If I already filled the cistern with earth and then removed the earth, he, and not the original owner of the cistern, is liable. Since he filled the cistern with earth, the actions of the persons who originally dug the cistern are considered to have been nullified. Right? So it doesn't go back, right? After you, if it belongs to me and someone else came and filled it, and then and then unfilled it again. So it doesn't go back to me, it goes back to that person who unfilled it. And they're responsible. Very interesting. Sorry, one second. Okay. If, however, whether he removed it, he is the original is on his liable. Since he filled the assistant with earth, the action is right. Okay. Okay, we're going to stop here.